Alright, welcome back to another video, and yeah, so apparently the other video got copyrighted on the channel, so now we're gonna have to redo exactly the same thing again, but now without the music. So yeah, apparently YouTube didn't like the entire copyright thingy, so now, again, we are doing exactly the same thing, but now without music. Great. Why does YouTube always keep doing that? I don't know. But hey, it's not my fault, it's YouTube's fault. Also, why does game have copyrighted music either way? No, this is not one of those complaining videos about those weird YouTubers who do complaining. Clearly, that's not what we're trying to go for. But altogether, it's just very sad. And apparently, you guys not like my bootleg video yesterday, so that's great. If you guys have even ever watched it. The only reason why I was ever doing bootleg videos is because I wanted to preserve those obscure games, but I guess nobody else likes it. Oh yeah, clearly nobody else likes it. Yeah, but I mean, the reason why that the entire channel was started was originally for a Roblox channel, so the thing is another nostalgia video for anybody that watched any of that. Yeah, so, can't really think about it, the very first videos were just basically about the Roblox game Piggy, and if you don't remember the Roblox game Piggy, well, why does anybody remember it? It was essentially a 2020 thingy. You know, a product of its era, or time, whatever you would like to call it. But that's just because of that era. That's what the channel originally began, and you can still find it today at the very, very bottom. But ultimately, there's really nothing. Yeah, and then so the channel went dead for a while, and in 2023 I did the Neverhood. And you guys really seemed to like it, but I got confused on it, so yeah, I couldn't really beat it. Also, but then you may ask yourself, oh, why can't you just do the PlayStation version? Well, because it's exactly the same thing, except in Japanese. But there's also an English translation for it, so really no reason to play that. And then, of course, there's the Chrono Trigger videos, but that one didn't really go so well. And then, for a very long time, I did bootleg videos, and you guys really seem to like it, because, of course, you guys like obscure video games. You like everything that's obscure. In fact, one of the videos, Jinki X Zun, which is Hummer Team's only RPG, managed to get a lot of views because people like it, I guess, even though it was probably just another bad video. But I mean, yeah, so back then everybody liked bootleg games, but I guess nowadays with all the Jinna-coded games, there's really no room for it. No room for any preservation or anything, because people don't care. And the reason why people don't care about those games anymore is because, well, they're just not that quote-unquote popular, as some people say. But I don't want my channel to become another one of those mindless Roblox channels where all they do is just they put out Roblox videos so the company can get more money. I mean, yeah, now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, but you're already playing a Roblox video. Well, no, because apparently that's what you guys like, but just telling you right now is I do not want the channel to become another one of those corporate Roblox channels where all people do is just they post Roblox. No room for uniqueness anymore. They just post Roblox. And that's what the channel was supposed to be, but never did becoming one. And yeah, it just never did. But also is that some of my videos were popular, majority weren't. And I mean, yes, I know, you guys don't like bootlegs, and to be frankly, even I don't really know what in the world's going on in most of Sinjin Nanjing's bootlegs, because they're just so overly weird and Chinese that they're very hard to follow. And even if the games are bootlegs from, say, I don't know, the Game Boy Advance or the SNES, they're still very hard to follow because, number one, I don't really know what all the original games were. Like, for instance, Tales of Fantasia. Sinjin Nanjing did a bad backport of that game. A lot. and I don't really know where to go with it. So, unless somebody would like to translate them, which, hey, if anybody's watching this and they know Chinese, you should probably go ahead and translate them. Then I don't know when the world's gonna go on with the game. But yeah, so apparently you guys didn't really like the Jinakota ones, and it's because they just use the same system, or it's because nobody really likes it. I don't know, you should probably leave the comment down below about why you guys don't like the Jinakota games. And if you do, that's great, because people are actually still doing about these games. And you know what? I think I haven't talked about this before, but uh, sometimes people still get views from bootleg games. Like for instance, there is a YouTuber that no longer does stuff. The name is the Cage DFX, and he/she does bootleg, or at least used to do bootleg game endings. And guess what? He has over 1K views. Over 1K views. Keep that in mind. Not 1K views, or some of his videos are 1K views, but they are over 1K views. Can't you imagine that? Is that all of his videos are mostly over 1K views and they are bootleg games. I mean, seriously, but... So, if you guys just don't like the bootleg games, now stop doing it. But honestly, it's just really sad, because again, this channel was about preservation of... Well, at least it was about preservation of bootleg games, but I guess nobody cares nowadays, unless some of you still do care, which I hope you guys do. But of course, so yeah. Anyway, I'm just trying to re-record this over and over. But I mean, if you guys want to see more Jinakota games, you can just leave a comment down below. And you may have also not heard this one in my previous video, I did say to leave a comment down below. But if you couldn't hear, it's because the sound is having weird issues. Alright. But no, seriously, leave a comment down below if you guys are actually even watching this, which I hope you guys are. And subscribe, because why not? And I mean, yeah, also, even though Empire Clash is on Roblox, you guys don't really like it, it's because the game is too obscure, or is it just because the thing gets glitched up all the time, or the slow performance? But I think it's just because of slow performance. But really, outside of that, there's nothing really else to really do. And I mean, if you guys just don't like, if you guys want me to become a Roblox channel, where every single time I post a new video is always to be about Roblox, no, I'm not going to be doing that, because clearly that's not my type. Now, my type is bootlegs, and if you guys still like it, you need to comment down below. I know, it sounds like an advertisement, but keep in mind, this is not an advertisement. But I mean, seriously, if you guys are already watching this video, and you're probably watching at this point, then I say just go look at the bootleg games. They're interesting. If you guys don't find it interesting, then that's great. But again, this is not an advertisement, and I'm not advertising to you to go watch my other videos. If you guys would like to, you would like to. If you guys don't, you guys don't have to. Oh great, here's the dream/weird core level again. Well, I failed. Yeah, but I mean, hey, this channel was great back then. I wonder how it's great right now. Nah, well, it's not really great either. I mean, there were a couple failed videos. Most of them were just Minecraft videos. Oh yeah, if I'm gonna do Minecraft anytime soon, probably not. Because the computer I was recording on is way too slow nowadays to handle Minecraft, and even online play is no longer a thing. But it just shows what happens when people just like these videos because they love watching the same thing over and over. But I guess it's what people like. I mean, seriously, you should probably go watch some of the Jinakota videos. They have pretty strange enemies. In fact, some of them I didn't even show you off, but maybe I will. But I won't really spoil how the enemies are, because I mean, oh, they are pretty weird. I mean, no, seriously, you should probably just go watch the Jinakota videos right now, because they are weird and interesting. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with Jinakota videos, is there? But I mean, if you don't like Jinakota, okay, I can clearly see that. They're making Final Fantasy clones in the same year as not in the same years as Nanjing is. Like, yes, I get that. And maybe you're tired and bored of seeing Exion plastered all over the screen because that's it. And maybe you don't like how the Dragon Quest games are hard. I mean, yeah, some of them are hard, but I haven't revealed most of them yet because 3 is easy, 4 is very easy because you start at level 5, and 5 or V is very hard for some odd reason, and it's been split into 2 parts, which doesn't really make any sense. I mean, yeah, I know that most people don't like bootleg games and whatnot, but it's just very sad. Now I can do obscure SNES games, so if you'd like me to do that, then comment down below, because I can clearly go ahead and get obscure SNES games, but that's only if you guys would actually ever watch it. Oh boy, here comes the hard technology level. Yep, let's see. Can I do this thing correctly without messing up? Well, I seem to be doing pretty well. How did I get past this? Did I stay on one side and not try to get up again? Yeah, let's see. Let's go over here. Yeah, platforming can be tricky. And it's especially tricky when you are losing it. Ooh, safe zone. Nice shot. Oh, great. Well, that's easy. I need to be super careful on this part. Although there is a thing down there. So yeah, here's the desert level, or pyramid level. I mean, is there really anything wrong with Jinokota? Not really. I mean, yes, they stole enemies from Breath of Fire 3, which is a PlayStation game, or PlayStation RPG made by Capcom, and in some of their games, they stole stuff from Final Fantasy 6. Again, some of them, I won't reveal to you all of them, because some games have original enemies, and majority of them just steal enemies. I mean, hey, that's the nice thing about bootleg games. They do backports, and then you have to see what kind of enemies they put in there, because most of the time they can be messed up. And yes, there's even bootleg games outside of the NES and SNES and Sega Genesis. Like seriously, there was a mobile game that was called All Star was it Super Smash Bros. All Star? It was an RPG and was on the mobile phone. So clearly, bootlegs are not limited to NES games, despite the contrary to belief, or even SNES or Sega Genesis games. Because I mean, hey, people only watch BMB games from Russia because their endings are so disturbing. But of course, I won't mention to you what the endings are because you may as well want to go watch it for yourself. Although I would not let young children watch it. I mean, seriously, any person who plays BMB games, particularly from Sega Genesis, are most likely not going to understand what's going on because number one, most of BMB games are in Russian. and they're only for the Sega Genesis, because over there in Russia, the Sega Genesis is apparently still popular, alongside things with the Nintendo Switch and whatnot. Maybe the Xbox, maybe. But I mean, yeah, I can do B&B games if you guys would like, but again, comment down below if you would like for me to see to play B&B games, which I will go find the ROMs for. But yeah, so apparently you guys don't really like the Jin Code RPG games, and what is it? It's because it's too weird? I mean, yeah, I know the Romance of Three Kingdom games have weird enemies, and the last one has a weird tiger boss with an uncanny smile. That's going on the liminal space thingy. I can imagine just somebody putting in a liminal space the tiger boss from the last video. Yeah, that thing was uncanny nightmares. If you guys ever watched it, even. I mean, hey, who doesn't like watching weird bootleg games with weird thingies going on inside them? Because, I mean, yeah, there's people who make videos about old Minecraft servers and old Roblox games, but they get a bunch of views. I mean, I can do old Roblox games, but the majority of the time they're not going to work. And I don't really have the old Minecraft servers, but if you guys want to see me play any more bootleg games, then again, you should comment down below. But I'll stop saying comment down below because you're probably already tired and annoyed of it. But I mean, yeah, so the Nanjing games, in a retrospective about that, they're all pretty terrible either way. They all seem to have bad backports and sometimes bad graphics. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having bad backports because it's always been happening since at least the 80s. Or, no, 90s is when they began. There's always been bad backports to the NES because that's what bootleggers do. They usually just put in NES stuff so that they can, I don't know, get money. And yes, bootleg games are interesting, but only to a certain small people, or small group, and I'm part of that small group. It's like a small group of people who says that vaporwave should exist. Whoever says that. Well, easy off, people. And of course, there's a tiny community of liminal space weird people and whatnot. But I mean, yes, I'm part of a small group, the bootleg games group, because they're interesting. And although many of the videos don't really get as much views, because bootleg game videos shouldn't really get as much views, although it really should, but that's just how YouTube advertises them. It's in reality very sad to see such effort and such time wasted into nothingness. I mean, hey, that's just the bootleg games. They're mostly terrible, and they don't really do anything to help it. And I mean, yes, there are some more famous examples of bootlegs, like Hummer Team bootlegs, and again, B&B bootlegs. But outside of that, there isn't really that much else with content about bootlegs. I mean, I mentioned already one channel, but I don't think there's really anything else. Outside of I can mention small channels, but in reality, nobody really knows about them. And probably nobody will ever know, but also I can do live streams if you really want, but again, probably nobody would watch it, unless you guys want to. If you're still even watching by this point, but you probably are. But again, I wouldn't really want to do Roblox games, okay? Currently, people have suggested to me, oh, do Roblox games, but I'm not interested in Roblox games. And that makes you angry or upset or miserable. Don't be, because clearly, Roblox is not my interest. Also, let me just get rid of the event thingy. So that stops annoying the thing. Clearly, it's not my interest, okay? Bootlegs are my interest, but nobody else likes those bootlegs because they're not interesting. And I mean, that's very sad, but now people are just forgetting that there was actually time and effort put into them. Even all the bad bootlegs with their glitchy controls and bad game systems like Nice Code bootlegs. They had time and effort to put into them, but nobody really plays them because, again, they have bad gameplay design. And yeah, you should probably go try playing a Nice Code game, and you should probably tell me that, oh, Nice Code games always have bad designs, either because because there's no battle music, or it's because the game feels like it's on a grid. Well, first of all, for the majority of Nice Code RPGs, most of the games are on a grid. The only two that aren't is, again, that Alien vs. Predator RPG and the Journey to the West one. Well, actually, Journey to the West came first, and then Alien vs. Predator. Those seem to have more smooth animation, and they also seem to have no battle music, but then everything else seems to be running on this weird grid system, which makes sense, but I don't know if it makes sense or not, because clearly it doesn't. And I mean, yeah, Nice Good bootlegs aren't really the best ones. Typically, the Sinjin Nanjing bootlegs everybody likes to talk about is Final Fantasy VII or that Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap backport, both of which I have done. But I mean, there's other great games out there like the Calibrush Brothers, which I've played through the entire thing, and I believe you should play it through too. Now, no, it's not an advertisement for saying you should go ahead and find the Calibrush Brothers or its Chinese name, Hu Lunjin Gang, online somewhere. No, it's just, it's very enjoyable to play and ultimately not really a bad game. It's only just so lost to obscurity because nobody really knows what the show is based off of, which I would also recommend you to watch, but if you're not really Chinese, then why would you even watch it? And no, not to make any weird comments about the Chinese thingy, but Americans just don't like any shows from any international countries except if it's anime, which is very strange. And again, you can even see that even Chinese people bootleg off anime, with the videos like the Naruto video and the Dragon Ball Adventure video all being backports of GBA games. And no, I'm not saying that GBA games are done terribly, it's just what Nanjing decided to do with them. Golden Sun, for instance, is very bad because it manages to convert as little as much as they can. I mean, yes, I've played through the entire game too. It's not that really. All the enemies get harder right at the very end, and you're always wasting time just to get money. Brave Bell Saga, on the other hand, is a very interesting game, but has bad enemy design and bad gameplay to be in general. All because that Brave Bell Saga was originally a unlicensed bootleg, although, contrary to belief, all the graphics are original. Even the ones that look similar, it's probably just because of the color palette. Like saying that Tim, and this is the original Sega Genesis version, having stuff stolen from Breath of Fire 2, the SNES, is actually wrong because although he has the same color palette, it is not exactly the same sprite. And also, it's also a myth that the treetop area in Brave Bell Saga, the Fairy Forest as it's called in the English version, is from Saga 3. It's not from Saga 3. Again, it's original. And all the enemies are not stolen from anything. But Sinjin Nanjing, of course, loves to use the Sword of Mana graphics over and over. They even used it before they even published a Sword of Mana backport. But it began to be heavily used after the Sword of Mana backport, which I also have a video on. And also another game that people talk about from Sinjin Nanjing is the Chrono Trigger backport, which is bad. I mean, I've seen people play through it, and it's not that great. It doesn't really make that much of a good port. Really, their best games are the ones that are based off of Jin Yong, because they seem to actually make sense for some odd reason. And clearly, I know the reason why is that they're making sense, but strangely it does, except for the Heroes Jin Yong PC backport, which is unplayable. Yeah, like any game where the enemy levels up to you is basically an unplayable game because all you have to do is you have to go ahead and just beat the same level. And I mean always defeat the same enemy over and over, but it always gets harder. Which is the reason why that most people cheat on those games. Of course, I can't cheat because there are no cheat codes out there. And of course, maybe the people out there say, oh, well, why can't you just learn? No, because every single time you level up, again, it gets harder. Which would be fine if the game wasn't such, let's just say, a slow-paced game with not really that much to do. I mean, that's kind of sad, because again, they had effort. And when you have no effort, that means you don't really have anything. Also, I really haven't done this, but in the one where I did play the Heroes of Jin Young backport, it's not based off a book, it's based off a PC game. Sorry. But yeah, so, I mean, going back to the Jin-coded games idea, yes, I know, they made bootleg ports of YS, and they use exactly the same system. I mean, there isn't really that much of a problem with them, it's just, again, they're bad. Particularly the YS Origin backport is bad. The YS7 backport, which I have done before, isn't really that terrible, outside of it just steals stuff from Final Fantasy VI. Which I mean is great, and also they steal stuff from Breath of Fire 3. Which is also great. But I mean, you should probably just go watch my other videos. If you guys really like this, then why can't you like all the other videos? And I mean, again, you can comment down below if you want me to see those. If you want for me to play those B&B games or any other thing, because I can clearly do it. It's just nobody else has told me so. But if you guys like the B&B games from Russia for the Sega Genesis, I can do it. Because I mean, there's at least a couple of backports that are typically very bad. Probably the more famous ones are the ones that are from the ones that are Mario based. And keep in mind, there's even been bootleggers in America. Like there was American Video Entertainment, Color Dreams is a very famous one, and its spiritual successor, Wisdom Tree. You know what? It would be a very good time if I did the Donut World right now. Oh wait, that's the one that I left off. Oh wait, this is the first level, sorry. Yep, so this is the Donut World, an extra world in which you have to go ahead and find quote-unquote donuts. Oh, and would you look at that, there's exactly one right over there. Let's see if I can jump it. The avocado donut. Finding donuts unlocks rewards in the events menu. What are these rewards? Okay, so we need to find 50 donuts around this area. Yes, this one makes it a little bit more of a challenge than really anything else. And also, they're usually around cliffs. Anything down here? Nothing. Why do I feel like there was a donut back there somewhere? Clearly there isn't, but I'll keep an eye out for them. there's nothing down there. And there's nothing over here. But is there anything over here? Sorry. I mean, yeah, it's all pretty fine. Are you doing it over there? Can I even jump to it? And no. Looks like there are no donuts over there. Let's see. Donuts. No. Looks like there are none this level. Anyway, the snowman level. Again, they kill you if you touch them. But any donuts. Oh yeah, there's a part where you can fall into a pit. So can I jump over this lake? Oh, yes I can. Invisible walls. Oh yeah, I can just infinitely glitch myself through this entire thing. Looks like there are no donuts. Weird. Oh yeah, there is the underwater level, which again, the coral reefs, you touch them, you die. Oh, that's great. I touch this thing and it doesn't do anything. And this one's the Haunted Donut Landscape. Yeah, but altogether the donut levels are just additions so that people who have nothing else to do in the meantime just do their stuff. Can I get infinite gems? No. Well, this was a very kind of short video, but shorter than the other one, about how the channel's been doing, and again, another Speedrun 4 video. But anyway, guys, that was about it. I'll see you all a little bit later. Bye!